Hi, Randee from Quad Education here, helping students get into their dream college. Today's question comes to us from an SAT exam, but before we begin, I thought it would be helpful to just start with a brief lesson. Whenever we have an equation of a line, or an equation that's in the y equals mx plus b format, m is our slope and b is our y-intercept. Now, if we have two lines, and if those lines are parallel, they have no solutions, and that means that they never meet. They have no points in common. And it's important to note that the slopes of parallel lines are the same, and that is because they rise and run in the same intervals. If the lines are perpendicular, they meet at one point, so there's only one solution. And the slopes of perpendicular lines are negative reciprocals. If we have the same line, they have infinite solutions, and that's because they meet at every single point. Their slopes equal 0 because they don't rise, but most importantly, their equations are the same because they have the same line. So with that said, let's go to our problem. The question reads, in the system of equations above, n is a constant. If the system has no solution, what is the value of n? Well, just as we said before, if they have no solutions, that means that the lines are parallel, and parallel lines have the same slope. So the first step would be to put these equations into the y equals mx plus b format so that we can easily identify what the slope is. So if we rearrange the first equation, we have nx plus 3y equals 1. And we want to keep y on this side so that we can have that y equals mx plus b format. So we would subtract nx from both sides. So that would be a negative nx plus 1. We would then divide by 3. And we would see that the slope of this line is a negative n over 3. If we take the second equation, we would have 12x minus 6y equals 0. Once again, we want to put this in the y equals mx plus b format. So we're going to keep the 6y on this side. We're going to subtract 12x from both sides. And then we need to divide by negative 6. And when we do that, we could see that our slope is a negative 12 divided by negative 6, which is just a positive 2. So this slope has to equal this slope. So with that in mind, a negative n over 3 has to equal 2. When we have a fraction equal to a whole number, the easiest way to handle this is to put that over a 1 so that we have two fractions. Once we have two fractions with an equal sign, we can cross multiply. Negative n times 1 gives us a negative n, and 2 times 3 is equal to 6. Our negative n equals 6. If we divide both sides by a negative, we find out that n is equal to a negative 6, which is choice B, right over here. Okay, so just knowing the rules, knowing that lines that have no solutions are parallel and that parallel lines have equal slopes, we're able to rearrange both equations into the y equals mx plus b format so that we can solve for our slopes and set them equal to each other. Just the same, we can try another problem right over here. This question asks, how many solutions does the given equation have? Well, if we simplify the right side of this equation, we would still have our 5x minus 10 on the left, and we distribute the 1/10. 1/10 of 50x is just 5x, and 1/10 of 100 is 10. This equation equals this equation. So that means that they are the same line. And same lines meet at every single point, so there are infinitely many solutions. That would be choice D. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos on tackling SAT and ACT concepts. Bye for now.